what we'll do today is we're going to do something different. We're going to show a little bit of stretching, but also I'm going to show you guys how you can strengthen your joints within an area that might not be so flexible to kind of get more range of motion. After we run through some of the common stuff, such as the shoulder, wrist, ankle, and hip, at that point, I'll show you guys a couple standing exercises, just really work on the balance and the leg strength. And then towards the very end of that, we'll kind of leave some time for questions and answers. That way, if you guys have some more specific questions, then we'll kind of go through that. But feel free after the session, if you want to send me a message or an email, or like Brandon said, log on to my YouTube channel, HemoDoc. I'd be more than happy to help you guys out with specific issues, or just message me on Facebook under my name, Mike Zolo. So I'm going to back my chair up a little bit. And what we're going to do, and the good thing is nobody's going to need any equipment whatsoever. So a lot of times, some of the more common symptoms that I get or hear about are like neck pain, wrist, elbow, shoulder, ankle, hips, and knees, but everything is always connected. So we have to make sure that our whole body is even for the most part, and we're kind of trying to maintain range of motion the best we can. So a lot of times people are at the computer and they're like this, and their necks get very tight, and that creates some tension headaches. So rule number one is you always want to make sure that you're not kind of slouching down. You want to keep yourself nice and upright, even if you're typing or doing something at the workstation. But to stretch out the neck muscles, you don't want to just kind of yank your head. You want to have your head nice and straight. We're going to start, left arm is going to be down to kind of get that stretch here. Right arm is going to be on top of the head, and nice and gentle, you're going to pull, and this is stretching out the upper trap. So when we're doing a neck stretch, you want to hold this for a good 30 seconds. You want to make sure you're not just kind of yanking your head, but really going, keeping it nice and straight, pull away from the other side. As soon as you start feeling the stretch there, that's when you want to hold it. And we want to hold the stretch for about 30 seconds to really help the muscles relax. Doing 5, 10, 15 seconds is really not enough, because that's just when the muscles first start to relax. And try to go further through the range as best you can and come back. Normally, if the muscle's tight, you want to do this about 3 to 4 times, especially like after it's warmed up. So then we're going to switch sides. The right arm is going to go down. Left arm is going to come on top. We're more on the side of the head. Same thing, nice and gentle. You want to bring your left ear to your left shoulder. And we're going to feel that stretch on the right side. Having your arm lower like this, you're going to feel more of a stretch as opposed to having your arm this way. So if you want to try that out, have your arm down. You can even hold on to a chair and then do the same thing, but let your arm come up. You're going to see that you're not really getting as much of a stretch. All right, next thing is more the shoulders, posterior capsule, the back of the shoulder. So we could do is have your elbow slightly bent and just nice and gentle as far as you can go across your body. Same thing, you want to hold this for about 30 seconds. Some of the other stuff you might find on the YouTube channel is some of the workouts I've done with kinesiology taping for Hemophilia Federation of America and the Coalition for Hemophilia B. Some exercises for aquatic physical therapy, as well as just resistance training with bands. But because I don't know who has what at home, everything we're doing today is without any equipment whatsoever. All right, switch sides. Cross your body. Same thing, elbows bent. Use your other arm. You don't want to just yank. You want to go really nice and gentle across the body. "30-second hold and come back." All right, so the next couple we're going to do is we're going to start with the shoulder, and what we're going to do is a controlled motion, very slow. So a lot of times people have pain if they flex their shoulder, bring it out to the side. You can have some discomfort bringing your arm behind your back. So I want everyone to try to run through those ranges. Bring your arms up, see if that hurts. Bring them across your body, see if that hurts. Go out like a snow angel, see if you have any pain or discomfort. And then just try to bring your arms behind your back. So I can tell that my right shoulder is a lot tighter, and this actually bothers me a little bit when I go behind my back. So what we're going to do is, one, you want to have everything really kind of squeeze to the bottom of the floor. You want to start with your ankles. This is a full body contraction. You're going to tighten your ankles down towards the ground, tighten your glutes. We're going to start with a nice and gentle fist, okay? And you're going to flex. You're going to start flex your whole arm. You're going to go up as high as you can where you don't feel pain. Then we're going to turn the arm out to the side, come back, and then straight through. So what I'm going to do is back to chair up. I'd like everyone to stand up when we try these out. So as we're standing, tighten the ankles down to the ground, tighten the glutes together, gentle fist, and now really tighten everything. So what I'm doing is we're going straight. Here we go. Up, 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 nice and slow. At this point, I feel a little discomfort to the front of the shoulder. I'm going to externally rotate my arms. We're going like this, okay? Up, 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 as far back as I can, and straight through. We're going to run through that one more time. Tighten everything. Up, up, up. Wrist out to the side. So if anyone has like a dislocated or unstable shoulder or just difficulty raising it up, this is meant to really increase your range of motion as well as strengthen the whole joint throughout the range. So now we're going to go to the left side. Same thing, gentle fist. At home, if you guys have a gripper or like a little ball, really you want to squeeze as hard as you can. Start with the ankles, glutes, knees, and now the whole arm. We're going up as far as we can. Keep your back nice and straight. You also want to make sure you're not arching. So I'm here, arm turns out, and comes back down. As I come down, I want to kind of trace the ground. That's number one. I'd like everyone, we're going to do 3 times on each. So I'm here, and now the second one, I feel like my shoulders are able to go a little bit further. Back, 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 and through the range. That's number 2. Now we're going to go number 3. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Externally rotate and come back. Next one we're going to do are the hips. So I'm going to have a chair just so I don't fall in the grass. Okay? A lot of times we get a lot of pain in the hip flexor iliopsoas region, or we have knee and ankle pain. If your hips are stiff, that's going to correlate down the chain. That's going to compensate either below at your knee and ankle or above at your low back. Tons of people in the world have low back pain, but if your hips are tight, it pulls everything forward. So I'm going to stand here at the side. Same thing. You want to drive one. We're going to drive the hip up. Okay. Now we're going to abduct the hip, bring it out to the side. Now kick the bottom leg back and drive it forward. Okay, so that's one. I'm going to do it from this angle now. So I'm here. I'm driving the hip up. Nice and tight, bringing it out to the side. Ankle goes out as far as I can through the range and drive the hip up. That's number 2. Same thing, number 3. Here we go. Out. I heard a little pop there, so see that? A little bit more range of motion. And up. Boom. All right. Let's go left side. Same thing. And if you want to try not to hold on. That way you get the balance. So really drive that hip up as hard as you can. As high as you can, too. It's going to help you with stairs. Out to the side. Okay. Kick. Come back. And drive your knee forward. You want to make sure you're not kind of bending forward or leaning back. You want to really keep your body nice and straight so all the motion comes right through the hip joint. So drive the knee up, 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 squeeze. Here we go. A little bit higher this time for me. Out, kick, and come through. One more time. Here's number 3. Up. My right hip's a lot tighter, but my left, I can feel that it gets higher and higher each time. And see, I'm leaning a little bit. That's no good. So straighten yourself out and come through. Okay. Let's now go to the wrist. All right. So tons of stiffness, tons of pain in the wrist I see is very common, not just for individuals with bleeding disorders, but overall. So what you're going to do is have your arm placed on something nice and sturdy. I'm going to use my leg, or we can use the chair. So I'm going to show you guys both. Same thing we did with the hip. We're going to have our wrist come up this way, down, and here. So what we're going to do is you're going to squeeze. We're going to go up, 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 as high as you can. Heard a little click there. Out, down, and through. Same thing. So we're going to start. We're going to go up on this plane as high as I can. Rotate out that way. Down as high as I can. And go inward. So this is different planes of range of motion. Now we're going to go the opposite way. So instead of starting this way, we're going to start that way. So I'm going to go out, up, squeeze everything this way, down as far as I can. See a lot more wrist flexion that way. And here we go. Last one, up. You guys should be getting increased range of motion with each one. If you feel a lot of scar tissue buildup, this will definitely help kind of break through some of that. All right, so now my left hand, I'm going to use my own thigh. So here we go. We're going to go up, nice and slow, squeeze, 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 out, down, and repeat. So you see my whole arm's moving. We don't want that. We want to try stabilizing. We want just this moving right here, just your wrist. Okay, so now let's go the other way. Out, up. There we go. Last one. I went all the way to the left. I'm going all the way up. In here, maintain it, and across. Next one, I think is going to be one of the most beneficial. I had a patient with hemophilia coming all the way from Pennsylvania to see me a couple times, and ankles was his main complaint. So this is unbelievable for the ankle joints. If someone had like self-fusing of the ankle, or if someone had an ankle replacement, these are awesome exercises that are going to help with balance and stability. So really same thing. What I'm going to have you guys do is with the ankle, you're going to start, you're going to invert, pull up, 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 out, and down. Keep that contraction as tight as you can, and it's nice and slow. This is going to help you improve with dorsiflexion. Good. So 2 times we started there. Now we're going to start the opposite way. I'm going to go out, up. Hopefully there's no gum on the bottom of my shoes. I wouldn't have your leg up here. I'm just kind of showing you for camera purposes. You can have the rest of your leg kind of rested on a table or a bed, or you can just do it in this kind of bent knee position. But here we go. Left leg, we're going to go out, up. So that was a little bit too fast, so I want to slow it down. I lost that control. Slow control. These are called CARs, controlled articular rotational surfaces. And opposite way, up, up, up. This might not feel like you're doing anything, but this is going to give you stability if you guys practice this daily. So I recommend for all the joints we showed, practice this once a day. Don't do more than 10 times each. We're just starting with 3 to 4 today. You can increase 6 to 8 and then increase to 10 reps. So now that we got our joints kind of stabilized, what I'm going to have you guys do is we're going to work the legs, focusing mainly on the quads, ankles, and hips. So with balance, those are the main muscles. You want to make sure you work your glutes because that's your pelvis that stabilizes you, as well as your ankles. So what I'm going to start, we're going to run through a little bit of a circuit. You're going to have your arms crossed, okay? What I want you to try to do is to stand up and sit. If that's difficult, the arms crossed, you can have your arms here, you can have them on your thighs, but the lower the surface, the harder it's going to be to do, but this is going to really help you build up the quad and the glute strength. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 times in a row. You're going to make sure you're going right here and down. 2, 3, 4. You want to try to make sure you're not rocking. Get those knees nice and straight. And 10. We're going to stay standing. So now what I'm going to do is use the chair for support. Okay. We're going to work here and here. So the glute medius, which is right here, is the most important muscle for balance. It's what stabilizes you. If you have a weak glute on one side, then as you step, you're going to kind of drop your hip down. So I'm going to step here so you can see my whole foot. You're going to keep your leg nice and straight, keep your toes pointing forward, and we're going to go 15 times with the right leg. Use one hand to hold on, or two if you feel like you're off balance, but the goal is to progress using no hands. That way you get the stability on the other side. Now, we're going to work the hip extensor. So, same thing. This is having strong glutes helps you with balance as well as keeping upright stance. Toes pointing forward. You're going to tighten the butt muscle and then you're going to extend your knee. You want to make sure you're not kind of rocking forward. You want to make sure you're not going too far backward to put some pressure on the spine. So same thing. Tighten the glute, extend the leg. 15 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm feeling it on the opposite side of the hip because I'm standing on the one leg, so that's definitely normal. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing, other leg. Different angle here, so we're going to go out to the side. See, I'm keeping my toes pointing forward. You don't want to do this because that compensates and you're not really getting it as much in the hip. Keep yourself nice and tall. Keep your core tight. 15 times. For the sake of time and as well as everyone trying this for the first time today, we're just going to stick with one set of 15, but as this gets easier, I would definitely try 3 rounds. Okay? Start with like 3 rounds of 8, 3 rounds of 10, 3 rounds of 12, 3 rounds of 15, progress from there. And then you could buy a resistance band, put it around the ankles, and give yourself some resistance. And straight back for 15, 2, 3. Again, you want to make sure you're not rocking forward. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the best day that I've had so far here in New Jersey with weather-wise, so pick the perfect day to do some outdoor workouts. 15. Okay. Group number 3 are the ankles. So we're going to go on your toes for 15. This is working the calf. Okay? My toes are forward. You can do this in 3 different ways. You could have your feet kind of out to the side, or you can have your toes pointing in. So let's try feet out to the side 10 times. This is working all 3 parts of the calf. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Toes pointing forward for 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Toes pointing inwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is painful doing it standing, you can always do these sitting down. 9, 10. Last one for the ankle. Now instead of going up on your toes, we're going to go up on the heels. Okay? This is helping us with that dorsiflexion. So if anyone drags their feet, this is what's going to help kind of that foot drop. You also want to make sure you're not like rocking your body. You really just want to make sure focusing on your toes coming up. We're going to run through this 15 times. Good. All right. Now, last thing, we also want to make sure we're working the balance. So, heel to toe, you can stand, you can have your arms up, you can have them down, you can cross them. If you want to challenge it, close your eyes. I'm on grass, so this is even tougher. Taking away some of that proprioception. Try to hold that for about 10 seconds. Hopefully my phone is still there. Okay, then go other leg. Start here, close the eyes, 10 seconds. Whoa. All right. So, to recap, we did hip out to the side for the glute for balance, hip straight back to help getting up in the chair. We went up on our toes. We did them in 3 different directions. Toes in, toes straight, toes out to the side. We went up on our heels to work the front of the shins. We did one leg in front of another for balance. Then we closed the eyes to progress. We did the opposite side. We started with hip cars, up, out, leg out, extend, come back. We did shoulders, strong fist, all the way up, externally rotate, extend, come through. Then we did the ankle ones, up, here, hard as you can, opposite side. We did the wrist, up, here, one way, another way back. And the first one was the neck stretch. Arm here, nice and gentle, 30-second hold. So we have, hope you guys enjoyed the workout. This was just some things to warm you up, keep you guys engaged, and work out the muscles during the quarantine. But we'll take the last 10 minutes. If anyone has any questions, feel free to kind of ask them now. We could go through a little bit more specifics, but always know you can contact me on Facebook on Mike Zolo, or log on to my YouTube channel, HemoDoc, or on Instagram as Mike Zolo as well.